Good morning, children. Good morning, Priyanshu, Navya, Vasudev. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Priyanshu, Navya, Vasudev. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Arti. Please stay connected. Let some more students join, and then I shall start today's lesson. Dear students, if you have a textbook with you, please open the supplementary reader, that is Vistas chapter Should Wizard Hit Mummy? Okay, so this is the new chapter that I am going to start today. Should Wizard Hit Mummy? Okay, so you please open your textbook if you have your textbook in front of you, and keep a pencil so that you can underline some of the sentences, important sentences and words as well. Okay, Arnish, good morning, very good morning. Please wait for a while till some other students join me so that I can start. So at least 2 minutes you wait. Please stay connected. And Arnish, I was saying like I'm going to start a new lesson, Should Wizard Hit Mummy? Okay, so if you have the textbook with you, kindly open it and keep a pencil so that you can write down the meanings of words as well as some important sentences. So all of you kindly stay connected. And Priyanshu, please be regular, okay, because this has become a regular mode of interacting with you people, as the COVID-19 cases are increasing with every passing day. So the future of regular classrooms has become a distant reality as of now. Therefore, please be online every day on time so that I can have interactions with you on a regular basis. So please do come on time, all of you, those who are present, and please convey the message to your friends also so that they can also reap the benefit. Because what happens, like if you see the recorded live video, there is not much of, I mean, you can of course watch it, but there is a pleasure in watching live video. Okay, that is why temporarily I've given break to my concept videos, but of course I'll complete your syllabus as live classes are taking place. So I'm giving more preference to live classes, and that is why my concept videos have taken a backseat for some time at least. But I will of course resume and complete your syllabus. Only few chapters are left from your syllabus, so I should finish it. And dear students, I have uploaded a complete syllabus of your poems, okay, on YouTube. So you please go through these videos of the poem, especially because poems require more revision, more more critical thinking. Therefore, you please watch each of my concept videos of poems from my channel learningwithadifference.com. YouTube channel of Learning with a Difference. Okay, so please do watch the poetry video in particular on a regular basis, and you please update your lesson notes. For each lesson note, make one PDF. Okay, suppose one of the chapters has 5 pages or 6 pages of answers. What you do is take pics of 5 pages and convert these images into a single PDF file. Give the name of the PDF file, the name of the chapter. Okay, go to the library section of my website, then homework submission folder, and then find out your class. Inside your class folder, make a folder in your name, and inside that folder please upload your PDF file. Okay, for every lesson, remember, you give me a single PDF. Okay, so that I can sort of it will be convenient for me to check, and also come to know to what extent you have been updated in so far as lesson completion is concerned. Okay, individual folders on our own in the site, individual folders. Yeah, Anish, actually, see that you can also make, no? Like whenever you go to upload your folder, sorry, file, or on inside your class folder, there when you open your class folder, there is a plus icon on the right hand side. So you please click on that and you can make the folder. No, I suppose you can do that. I suppose if it is not possible, in that case I will make, of course. But creating folder, I think it's feasible. It's enabled on my website. So you just check out once. If that cannot be done from your end, of course I shall make individual folders for each one of you. But first you try out once. Okay, try out with a PDF file. Okay, yeah. I hope it can be done. Okay, so the dear students, so I think I should start now, or else I'll get late, you know. Please be on time, because 11 maximum buffer time of 5 minutes I can allow, not more than that. Okay, because it's a big lesson, and most of the lessons of class 12 are big enough except for the poems. Okay, so dear students, today we are going to start a new lesson which is called Should Wizard Hit Mommy? Okay, now wizard means what, you know, dear students? Wizard means a magician, you can say. A magician is a wizard. Okay, so this story is about a small child who is called Joe, and her name of her father is Jack, and her mom is Claire, I suppose. So there is a sort of habit, regular habit, you can say, in the family, that whenever Joe is going to bed, her father, that is Jack, has to tell her a story every day before going to bed. Okay, so this practice of telling stories to the little daughter, to Joe, by her father, has been going on for the last few years. Okay, since she was very small. This practice has been carried forward till now. Okay, now hopefully Joe is around 4 years, I suppose. So in this chapter we'll find a father narrating a story to his daughter, whose name is Joe, and the protagonist, you can say, the protagonist of the story that her father is narrating to her is, you can say, Roger Skunk. Means there are several characters, as you'll come to know, but a person called Wizard, a magician called Wizard, plays an important role insofar as creating a lot many questions in the mind of a child is concerned. Okay, whenever her father is telling her a story, what is happening? She is asking questions to her father sometimes, because whenever her own belief and her own concept is contradicting with her father's narrative, at that time only she is asking questions. It is quite natural. Okay, because if I say the earth moves around the sun, you shall not question me. But if I say the sun moves around the earth, you shall certainly question me, because it is something which is contradictory to my belief system. Understood? Likewise, whenever the girl Joe is having any kind of clash with her established concept or with her preconceived ideas, okay, and whenever it is varying and contradicting with her father's narrative. At that time only she is questioning her father, and the title of the story is a part of that one of the questions of that girl. Okay, Joe. Here you can see at the top the picture of Joe given. So the title of the story, Should Wizard Hit Mommy? This particular question is asked by Joe, that is the daughter, to her father, that is Jack. She asks many questions, but this is the lead question, you can say, okay, around which the theme of the story rotates. Therefore, the writer has selected this particular question of Joe as the title of the story. Okay, so let's begin, and we shall go through the narrative, through the plot today, and critical appreciation or the discussion of the critical issues we shall do after we finish this lesson. And in between also, if there is or if there are some sentences which might be very much important in so far as theme is concerned, I shall certainly discuss. Okay, so let's begin, and before that let me check the people. Okay, Aman Verma, Aman, good morning, and Sanubar also good morning. Dhanasri, good morning. Okay, so Aman, you too please be regular. Okay, please be regular on in online classes, because there is no chance of resumption of regular classes at least till 2 months. Okay, so this is sort of this is the platform through which we shall stay in touch with you. We shall give you assignments and all that. Okay, okay, thank you, Arnish. So you can students, you please go to the library section of my website, go to homework submission, go to your class 12, and inside your class folder you please make a folder of your respective names. Okay, so that it's easier for me to find out who is updating the lesson notes. Okay, it is very important, dear students, because once the regular classes start after 2 months, it will be very difficult, dear students, for you to sort of waste your time copying answers from one place to another. Okay, so therefore, as you are relatively free at this moment, okay, please do update your lesson notes, one lesson on an everyday basis. Okay, or you can do like this, weekly you update 2 lessons, that will be sufficient. Okay, weekly at least you update 2 lessons. As and when you update the lessons, please convert the lesson notes into a PDF file and keep uploading inside your class folder, inside your individual folders. Okay, inside your individual folders, which will be located inside your classroom, and classroom folder is located inside your homework submission folder in the library section of my website. Okay, dear students, let me begin. Okay, here is a story about the worldview of a little child and the difficult moral question she raises during the story session with her father. Okay, so dear students, Joe being only 4 years old, is having a lot of questions in her mind. It's quite normal, quite natural for children to have a lot of questions. Okay, similarly, in this story you will find, in the course of her father narrating a story or narrating a host of stories to his daughter, she will keep asking him several questions, and some of the questions are very much pertinent or relevant in relation to the theme of this story. So such questions I shall discuss in detail, of course, and rest of the critical questions I shall discuss after I finish the lesson. Let's begin. In the evenings and for Saturday naps like today's, Jack told his daughter Joe a story out of his head. So dear students, when the narration takes place, it was Saturday. Okay, and it is a regular custom, it is a regular habit for Jack, who is a father in this story. It is a regular practice for Jack to narrate a story to his daughter Joe, okay, out of his head. understood, for her nap, okay, in the evenings and on Saturday naps, for Saturday naps also. It is a regular practice for her father to tell his daughter a story on an everyday basis. This custom began when she was 2, was itself now nearly 2 years old. This custom refers to this practice. This practice of storytelling began when she was 2, was itself now nearly 2 years old, and his head felt empty. Okay, he's felt empty because he has been narrating the story to his daughter for a long time. Okay, so each new story was a slight variation of a basic tale. So you can see here basic, because you cannot altogether change stories. So what he is doing is he is making some slight changes, okay, and to each story that he is telling his daughter. Okay, otherwise some parts of each story are almost similar. Okay, each new story was a slight variation of a basic tale. Okay, a small creature usually named Roger Fish, Roger Squirrel, Roger Chipmunk. Okay, so he changes the title of the character also while he narrates the story to his daughter. Like here you can say Roger Fish, Roger Squirrel, Roger Chipmunk had some problem. Okay, so who had a problem? Roger. Okay, a small creature usually named Roger. So Roger is the character, main character of the story that her father, Joe's father, was narrating to her. Okay, so a creature usually named Roger. Okay, sometimes he gives the name Roger Fish. I mean Jack, her father, gives the name. Sometimes Roger Fish, sometimes Roger Squirrel, sometimes Roger Chipmunks. But Roger being the constant here. Okay, common here. Now Roger had some problem. What is the problem Roger was having? Let's find out. And he went to wise old owl. Okay, so Roger went to wise old owl. The owl told him to go to the wizard. So when Roger went with his problem to the wise old owl, the owl suggested him to go to a wizard, a magician you can say, and the wizard performed a magic spell that solved the problem. Okay, and wizard with the help of his magical spell could sort out the problem of Roger, demanding in payment a number of pennies greater than the number that Roger's creature had. So in return for resolving the problem of Roger, what the wizard demanded, okay, was money. Okay, but Roger fell short of the money that the wizard demanded. Okay, therefore Roger has to give him the rest of the money which he was not having. Okay, so let's find out how he manages to do that. Okay, greater than the number that Roger creature had, but in the same breath directing the animal to a place where the extra pennies could be found. Okay, so when the wizard saw that Roger was or has fallen short of the money, he directs him to a place where some extra money can be found. Then Roger was so happy, he played many games with other creatures and went home to his mother just in time to hear the train whistle that brought his daddy home from Boston. Okay, so next you see Jack described their supper and the story was over. Okay, so that was the basic thing, you can say plot of one of the stories. Okay, now let's find out what happens next. Working his way through this scheme, it refers to the practice of Jack telling stories on a regular basis to his daughter Jo. Okay, this is the meaning of this sentence. Working his way through this scheme was especially fatiguing. Fatiguing means was very much tiresome. This particular practice of telling stories on a day in and day out basis to his daughter was especially fatiguing. Why it was tiresome? Especially fatiguing on Saturday. Why on Saturday? Because Joe never fell asleep in naps anymore, and knowing this made the ride seem futile. Okay, so Saturday might be like a free day, or might be the reason that Joe is at home on Saturday. Okay, he has to tell a story on Saturday, especially during the napping time. Okay, uh, why it is fatiguing? Because Joe never fell asleep in naps anymore. Okay, while when she was very small, she used to sleep very quickly during at daytime, but now she is not sleeping very quickly because she has grown. She is growing older now. Okay, so you might have seen as children grow older, they take time to sleep. Okay, when they are small, they can sleep at 10 o'clock at night. But when they grow up, they sleep at 11:30. So as children grow up, their sleep pattern also changes, and the children do not normally take naps, that is take short sleep at daytime. Okay, and she used to take earlier, but as she is growing now, so it's difficult for her to sleep, and it takes time actually. So the longer she remains awake, the more lengthy has to be the story. Okay, therefore it was fatiguing, and more fatiguing because she takes lot of time to sleep. Okay, so that's it. And knowing this made the rite seem futile. Rite here, dear students, refer to practice or conventional act is called rite, practice. Okay, and futile means useless. Okay, the little girl, not so little anymore. The little girl here refers to the Joe. Not so little anymore. The bumps her feet made under the covers were halfway down the bed, their big double bed that they had they let her be in for naps and when she was sick. Okay, so here the location, the bedroom has been described, the bed has been described. Okay, where little girl normally falls asleep. Okay, so the bumps her feet made under the covers, okay, were halfway down the bed. Okay, because the children are very restless, so she is making some bumps inside the blanket. Okay, their big double bed that they let her be in for naps and when she was sick had at last arranged herself, and from the way her fat face deep in the pillow shone in the sunlight sifting through the drawn shades. Okay, it did not seem fantastic that some magic would occur. It means there are a couple of stumbling blocks, or you can say there are a couple of interruptions or distractions on the way to Joe's falling asleep at daytime. Okay, number one, she is growing old now, or growing up now. Number two, there is a sunlight coming inside her room. Okay, because normally what happens, until and unless it's pitch dark, it is difficult. Okay, or until and unless it is conducive for sleeping. Okay, it is not possible. So that is what is very important, dear students. Try to understand, now she is growing old, number one. Number two, daytime some sunlight is also coming inside the room. Okay, so these interrupting factors, okay, have prevented Joe from sleeping on Saturday at daytime. Okay, and she would take her nap like an infant of 2. She would never take her nap like an infant of 2 because she has grown older now. Therefore, some magic, to expect that some magic would occur in her sleep pattern, like when she was very small, she used to sleep at daytime. So this sort of expectation that she would fall asleep very quickly on Saturday afternoon. That is something which uh, even can some magic cannot perform. Okay. Her brother Bobby was 2 and already asleep with his bottle. Okay. Her brother is already asleep because he is just 2 years old. Jack asked, "Who shall the story be about today?" Okay. So Jack was asking his daughter, okay, who shall the story be about today? Roger, Joe squeezed her eyes shut and smiled to be thinking she was thinking. Her eyes opened. Her mother's blue skunk, she said firmly. I would like to hear a story about Roger Skunk today. So you tell me the story of Roger Skunk, a new animal. They must talk about skunks at nursery school. Having a fresh hero momentarily stirred, Jack to creative enthusiasm. Okay, means having a fresh hero refers to the lead character of each of the stories that Jack was narrating to his daughter Joe. So here Roger Skunk is the new hero actually, okay, because he has introduced this character for the first time. Therefore Roger Skunk being a new hero, okay, of the story, Jack has to sort of start his creative imagination, okay, so as to make the story convincing for a 4-year-old daughter. All right, he said. Once upon a time, then he started narrating the story. Okay, so Vedant, good morning. Rushi, good morning. Okay, so dear students, are you able to hear me properly? And till this time, do you have any doubt? You can text me. Okay, I shall inquire about it after 2 minutes. I shall have a look at your query after 2 minutes. Till that time, or in the duration, in the course of narrating you the story, if there is any question in your mind, you can text me. Okay, so please stay connected, dear students. Hopefully you are able to hear me. Okay, so her brother Bobby was 2 and already asleep. Okay, so now he has started. What is that he has started? Once upon a time, in the deep dark woods, there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk. Okay, so the beginning of the story is as usual, once upon a time, a long time ago. Okay, this is how normally the story begins. Once upon a time, in the deep dark woods, there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk. Okay, a tiny little creature was there in the deep dark woods whose name was Roger Skunk, and he smelled very bad. Okay, so a tiny little creature, Roger Skunk, used to smell very bad. Yes, Joe said. Okay, yes, Joe said. It means Joe has some previous knowledge of the characteristics of skunk. Okay, he smelled so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures would play with him. Okay, Joe looked at him solemnly, means sincerely. She hadn't foreseen this. Okay, foreseen means she couldn't predict this. Foreseen, the meaning of foresee is predict something. Okay, Joe looked at him solemnly. She hadn't foreseen this. Whenever he would go out to play, Jack continued with jest, remembering certain humiliations of his own childhood. All of the other tiny animals would cry, "Ah, oh, here comes Roger Stinky Skunk," and they would run away, and Roger Skunk would stand there all alone, and 2 little round tears would fall from his eyes. Okay. So, dear students, as I told you, in the course of narrating the story, there will be some sentences which will be relevant to the theme of the story. I shall explain you those sentences during the course of my explanation. And this particular sentence, one of these sentences has already come. And what is this? You see, here you can mark this sentence, remembering certain humiliations, remembering certain humiliations of his own childhood. Okay, certain humiliation of his own childhood. So here Jack has brought the autobiographical element in his narrative. Okay, um, because like Roger Skunk, Jack also had faced some humiliation in his childhood. Okay, from his playmates. Okay, from his friends. So this is what has been mentioned in this particular sentence. Okay, autobiographical touch has been given in this narrative. Okay, Jack continued with just remembering certain humiliations of his own childhood. Okay, so what was the humiliation on the part of Roger Skunk? Let's find out. All the other tiny animals would run away from him because he used to smell awful. Okay, he used to smell awful. That is why they used to run away from Roger Skunk. And Roger Skunk would stand there all alone, and two little round tears would fall from his eyes. It is two little round tears. It is a literary way of narrating. It was Roger Skunk was shedding tears when there was no playmate around him. The corners of Joe's mouth drooped down, and her lower lip bent forward as he traced with a forefinger along the side of her nose the course of one of Roger Skunk's tears. Okay, so this is another type of narrative style. It means that Joe also became emotional while her father was narrating the story. Joe is empathizing with Roger Skunk here. Okay, Joe is empathizing with Roger Skunk here. Therefore, she might be shedding tears. Okay, because she feels bad for Roger Skunk as he is left alone in the forest without any companion around, without any playmates around, because Roger Skunk used to smell awful. Okay. Won't he see the owl? Now she is asking her father, won't he see the owl? She asked in a high and faintly roughened voice. Sitting on the bed beside her, Jack felt the covers tug as her legs switched tensely. Okay, she is moving her legs. Okay, switching her legs. Because she is there is no symptom of her falling asleep very shortly. Okay, and also sometimes when she is excited, by hearing something which something sad or something what she empathizes with, she normally switches her legs and also shows her protest. He was pleased with this moment. He was telling her something true, something she must know, and had no wish to hurry on. Okay, so see, from these two lines, what do you understand, dear students? What do you understand from these two lines? Sitting on the bed beside her, Jack felt the covers tug as her legs switched tensely. He was pleased with this idea. He was pleased with this moment. He was telling her something true, something she must know, and had no wish to hurry on. Okay. While narrating the story to his daughter, Jack is also trying to assert certain belief system, okay, in the mind of Joe. Okay, in the mind of Joe, he wants to sort of impose some sort of belief system into the mind of his daughter while narrating a story. It means whenever Jack is telling a story to his daughter, he is trying to include some moral values, okay, into the story, so that his daughter grows up imbibing such values in her in herself in the process of her growing up. Okay, and story is a very good medium, very educative medium. It's a very constructive medium, an interesting medium, because all the children love to listen to stories. Therefore, stories are the most constructive and most entertaining medium of imposing values to children. Therefore, Jack wanted his daughter to imbibe certain values, okay, whenever he tells her a story. So this is the meaning of these two lines. Therefore, he was not hurrying, okay, in his narrative. He is saying very comfortably, okay. But downstairs a chair scraped and he realized he must get down to help Claire paint the living room woodwork. Okay, so in the course of telling story to his daughter, his attention is diverted towards the scraping sound that a chair made, because his wife is likely to paint the living room woodwork. Okay, and he was supposed to go and join her, but let's see, he is diverted at the moment by the scraping of the chair. So dear students, the meaning of scrape is draw or move something along or over something else, making a harsh noise. Okay, so if you drag a chair forcefully over the surface, over the floor, over the concrete floor, cemented floor, it will make sound. Okay, this sound is called scraping sound. Okay, so let's find out next what happens. Okay, next find out. Well, he walked along very sadly and came to a very big tree. Okay, and in the tip top of the tree was an enormous wise old owl. Okay, so Roger Skunk went to the owl. Okay, went to a wise owl actually, about consulting him as to how he can get rid of the awful smell that he was having. Okay, good, Mr. Owl, Roger Skunk said, all the other little animals run away from me because I smell so bad. So Mr. Owl, he said, Roger Skunk said, Roger Skunk describes his problem to the wise owl, saying all the other little animals run away from me because I smell so bad. So you do, the owl said, very, very sad. What can I do? Roger Skunk said, and he cried very hard. The wizard, Joe shouted and sat right up, and the little golden book spilled from the bed. Okay, so the wizard means even Joe wants the wizard. Okay, Joe wants the wizard to help Roger Skunk. Okay, therefore she is suggesting the wizard. Roger Skunk should go to wizard. Okay, Roger Skunk should go to wizard. Now Joe, Dad is telling the story. Now Joe, Dad is telling the story. Do you want to tell Daddy the story? See, here also in this sentence we can understand that whenever Jack is trying to narrate a story to his daughter, he does not want his daughter to dominate over him or come up with an idea in the story, because this is what Jack does not endorse in his daughter. Jack does not support his daughter contradicting the belief system, okay, contradicting the belief system of her father. Understood? It means that Jack wants his daughter to subscribe to his opinion about the narration of the story. She should not add any extra idea into the story. In a very layman's language, I am asking you. Okay, therefore she is trying to discipline his daughter in this in this particular point in the narrative. He's saying, do you want to tell Daddy the story? Okay, it means he does not want his daughter to come up with any suggestion and any alteration in the story. Understood? It means that he wants to discipline his child, he wants to imbibe certain values to his daughter. Okay, and on the other hand, if you see, you can see that Jack is a very orthodox, he is a very traditional kind of a father, because a child will, because he is not looking at the story from the child's perspective. Okay, whenever we narrate a story to a child, we need to frame the story, okay, in the from the perspective of the child. Otherwise, we shall not strike a balance in the story. The listener will have a lot of conflicts in his or her mind. As a result, I shall prove to be a very bad storyteller. Understood? So Jack is trying to assert to his daughter everything that he tells to her is something what she should consider to be true, and this is something what Jack is making mistake. Okay, this is where Jack is making mistake. He is forcefully, deliberately trying to assert himself, okay, to his daughter. Okay, this is not correct. This is not correct from the point of view of parenting. Okay, from the point of view of making a rapport with the children. Okay, anyway, let's find out. No, you please continue telling me the story. Then lie down and be sleepy. Her head relapsed onto the pillow and she said, out of your head, out of your head. Okay, so dear students, I've got another class scheduled, so I've got to stop here. Okay, dear students, I've got to stop here. Next day we shall continue, and please be on time, at least by 11:05 you stay, you come online so that I can start immediately. Okay, there was some delay on your part, okay, that therefore I could not begin. Okay, and Aman, thank you so much. All the rest of you, if you have any query, you please write it down on a piece of paper, and then before the beginning of the next class I will answer these queries to you. Okay, so because now time is time is already over. Okay, time is already over, so it's very difficult for me to answer your queries. Please do write down on a piece of paper, okay, till what I have spoken, till what I have explained to you. If you have any doubt, you can write down on a piece of paper the question, and towards the beginning of the next class I shall respond to your queries and then straight away start off my lesson. Okay, so dear students, thank you so much. Have a nice day.